It's winter here in Germany, and it is that time of the year the slightest ray of sunlight becomes the main topic of conversations. You guessed right, when there is no sun anywhere to be found, I like to pick up my spirits with yummy food, which goes hand in hand with Christmas festivities coming up soon. Today's dish is a snack as well as a festive side dish, and it is called cutlets. Just talking about it makes my mouth water because it's a mix of mashed potatoes and protein of your choice, which at the end gets deep fried. It's so tasty that I don't even mind using a gallon of oil to deep fry them. Most commonly, it is made with fish. For my vegan fans, I will be preparing a vegan version as well. Trust me, they taste equally magnificent. If you are going for the vegan version, I prepare the egg replacement right at the beginning as it needs to sit for a while. Let 3 to 4 tablespoons of ground linseeds and about 4 tablespoons of water. This is also perfectly fine for the non-vegan version. So now, take potatoes, wash them, and cut the tiny roots. I like to cook potatoes with the peel. Boil the potatoes until you can push a fork through it easily, so for me it took about 15-20 minutes. Then transfer them to a plate and mash it with a fork. I prefer the consistency of mashed potatoes when I mash it with a fork versus using a blender. And that would make the mashed potatoes a bit more watery or softer, and that could result in loss of stability when forming them into balls. So I spiced the mashed potatoes with finely chopped spring onions. If you want some heat, feel free to add some red chilies, finely chopped. Other than that, I add pepper, salt, and curry leaf powder. Let the potato mix cool. In the meanwhile, I prepare the protein mix. You would have to cook the veggies a bit to release their flavors. So I took a pan and add a coconut oil. I use extra virgin coconut oil here. Then let the mustard seeds pop in the oil. After that, add fish curry masala powder. After a few minutes, add cumin, finely chopped garlic, ginger, and then add the tuna. If you're using onions, make sure to add this before the protein and saute until transparent. You will see this in the vegan version, by the way, so stay tuned. Since I used spring onions, I didn't want the onion flavor to be overbearing, so I avoided that here. Mix the tuna well into the sauteed spices. Add some chili if you like. You can also avoid it. It's optional. I added chili flakes as well as powder, so chili is optional. Then add this to the spiced potato mash and mix well. It just smells so good already right now. The next step would be to form balls and deep fry. I will, however, show the vegan version first. For the vegan version, mash about 120 grams of smoked tofu till it looks like scrambled eggs. Then I let the virgin coconut oil melt in the pan and pop some mustard seeds, cumin, and ginger powder this time since I ran out of fresh ginger. Then the fish curry masala powder. It got a bit wild in the kitchen, so I had to cover the lens of the camera to avoid oil splashes. Then I add the onions and garlic, and then some chili powder, optional again, curry leaf powder, salt and pepper. Then I added half a paprika, finely chopped, as well as 4 cherry tomatoes. Then comes the tofu into the mix, and I let it cook a little in medium heat. And then look what happened next. The soy sauce bottle was not closed properly as I shook it, so I had to clean the floor before. I added a few splashes of soy sauce into the mix. Then add that mix to the potato mash and mix everything well. So a trick to mix everything is to make lines with the fork so everything gets crushed a little into small pieces. This is important so that it doesn't collapse when deep frying when there are large pieces of potatoes or vegetables are remaining. Now comes the fun part where we form balls that are about 4 centimeters in diameter. With little amount of pressure and rotating movements, you can make a perfect potato ball with one hand. If there are paprika or spring onion chunks sticking out, gently press it to the inside while forming the balls, as this could also lead to a breakage. When you shake the ball in your hand, it should not fall apart. Now to the deep frying. Take some breadcrumbs and add some salt and pepper to it. Then all you have to do is roll the potato balls in the linseed mix or the beaten eggs and then roll them in breadcrumbs. And afterwards, drop it into hot oil. As you can see, I do not have a deep fryer. I simply use a pan and a truckload of oil. In theory, the balls should be submerged, which will produce a uniform brown color when frying. I have the oil level coming to at least half the height of the ball, and after one side is nicely brown, I roll the ball to the other side so that it is uniformly brown from all sides. Be sure to regulate the temperature of the oil as it can lead to burnt balls fairly easily. I use all my concentration with hot oil, as accidents with hot oil can be dangerous. Don't use your bare fingers like I do here. You see, I stopped myself from using my fingers and moved on to a wooden spoon. That's the best choice. Here's the final product. It's nice and crispy on the outside and warm in the inside. And feel free to experiment with protein or the veggie mix. Mine is never the same, as I use whatever is available in the fridge. So thank you all for watching. Please give a thumbs up and do subscribe. Catch you later.